Hi guys, sorry it's taken so long to do this update on Jackson. I know we had his meeting almost a month ago, his IEP meeting. So as you guys know, if you've been following the story, we had him assessed for an IEP because he has a medical diagnosis of autism through Kaiser. We had him assessed for an IEP, and in May, in his pre-K, he didn't qualify for whatever reason. So we had him reassessed, and of course he did qualify. And an IEP lasts for 3 years, and then you have to kind of like re-up it or whatever. So I met with the advocate on the Tuesday before the IEP meeting because I wanted to know, because they gave me the IEP paperwork with some recommendations, but it wasn't complete. They basically gave me the results of the assessment. Because I wanted to know the appeals process, because I was pretty sure they weren't going to give him an aid. They never want to give any services. And to just explain things, I wanted to make sure I understood, so I was there for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and I knew exactly what I was going to do. When they refused the aid, I was going to get prior written consent on why they were refusing it, and I mean, I knew I had everything ready to go, all my notes from the advocate. So we get to the meeting, and of course they have to go over all the results. The school psychologist, they didn't assess him for speech because apparently you have to ask for a speech assessment, even though last year when he didn't qualify they did a speech assessment. So it's like they're very tricky, these school systems. You have to ask and make sure that they're getting all of this stuff done, which is really annoying. So, and then the special education liaison or whatever, the occupational therapist, and everybody basically said he's awesome, but he does have obvious, autism spectrum disorder, the traits and everything. So going over the actual assessment took like an hour, and I was just waiting because I had a whole bunch of things on my agenda that I wanted to talk about. Like, they didn't do certain academic testing on him. They didn't do the speech. They said that he has sensory processing disorder traits. So I wanted to ask about testing. Like, I had a whole agenda of things that I want to talk about. But we got to the end, and it turns out they did approve the aid. However, of course there's a however, it was only for 6 weeks. So what they want to do is they want to go back every 6 weeks to kind of like reassess him, reevaluate, and see how he's doing with the aid. And immediately my red flag got raised, and I'm thinking, 6 weeks? Nope. They're going to try to screw me. They keep screwing me. They're going to try to screw me. So I was like, I don't understand why it's 6 weeks. Oh, it's just to reevaluate. And I said, well, during the reevaluation, if he gets approved for another 6 weeks, is he going to have the same aid? Oh, we can't guarantee that. Because they go through this third company. The advocate asked, or suggested that I ask for a functional behavior assessment, and to identify the negative behaviors and put in place a positive intervention plan to eliminate the negative behaviors. So they're going through the same company that it's an outside company that does the functional behavior assessment. So overall I was happy, but it didn't sit right with me. So I emailed the special education coordinator for all the schools, and I said, I'm really not comfortable with the 6-week limit. During the IEP meeting, I was basically told that you guys don't offer any kind of behavior aid, one-on-one aid, that it has to go through this. Is it true? And I asked her all these questions. She avoided all the questions, and she said, basically, 6 weeks, it's to reevaluate, blah, blah, blah. And she didn't answer most of my questions, so I emailed her back, because I was going to be that annoying parent who got the answers in writing. That's the thing, is I didn't necessarily, the 6-week timeline was not my favorite, but I was willing to go along with it if I had in writing from her that it wasn't going to get taken away after 6 weeks, that, We all had to agree. You know, I asked her what exactly would be the circumstance where it would get taken away after 6 weeks. And again, she didn't answer most of them, so I said, I'm not comfortable with the 6-week timeline. You know, she told me, everybody else told me, oh, the 6 weeks doesn't matter, it's just there to reevaluate. So I just straight up said, if it doesn't matter, then take it off. Put no ending on, or put like a year end date. And then, if everybody has to agree to take it away anyway, just, for my peace of mind, put it in for a year, and then put in writing in the IEP, if the IEP team decides that he doesn't need it, we can have it taken away, and we definitely need to come back every 6 weeks to reevaluate the progress. Well, once again, she did not answer most of my questions, but she said, it's been extended to the end of the year, you know, stop by the school office to sign the paperwork. So, he has 6 months with this one-on-one aide to help him participate in school and to work with him. So it is an overall win, excuse me. However, I know that they're going to try to screw me. I know that after, it's going to be a chore to get an aide at the beginning of next year, because I think that even if he does phenomenally for the rest of the year, if he has an aide at the beginning of the next year, it will really, really help his transition to just, okay, this is what, you have to listen to the teacher, this is what happens, and then they can take it away right away. I mean, obviously I don't know what the progress is, but, so, that was a win, and I felt like I had to push, and I had to question, and I had to prod, and in the beginning of the whole process, I felt really awkward about doing it. I felt like I was being a pain in everybody's butt, and that I would get more done by kind of going along with it and agreeing with it, and then I quickly found out that no, you have to fight. You don't have to fight dirty, you don't have to be mean, you don't have to lower yourself, but you have to fight. You have to fight for your child, you have to fight to get what your child needs, because nobody knows your child better than you do. They're with him. I mean, the teacher this whole time, she wants the one-on-one aid, because she is having a hard time with Jackson, she's having a hard time teaching her class, she's having a hard time, I mean, overall, it's just overwhelming, and I'm sorry, but she deserves to have the help if that's what he needs, and he has a medical condition. It's a medical diagnosis. So, I will definitely keep you guys updated, but if you take anything out of this whole long process that I have been filming, is fight for your child. If you don't think something's right, question, because that's the thing I think that got me more than anything, is the questions. Get it in writing. Don't have physical, like, one-on-one discussions. I mean, you can, but ask for it in writing, or you write it down and ask them to sign it, because they can always go back and say that you misinterpreted, that you misunderstood. If you have it in writing, plain as day, from them, this, they can't take it back. They can't change their mind. Or if they do, it's going to be a lot harder. In a court of law, if you have something in writing, you'll win, basically. So that would be my advice to you. Fight. The company that I went through is called TASK, Teaching Advocacy for Special Kids. I don't know if it's nationwide, I don't know if it's just my district, Southern California, but the gentleman that I went through was phenomenal. So I highly suggest you find some sort of resource. It doesn't have to be somebody you pay, but it took me a year to find this guy. So don't stop looking. It's going to be hard. There are going to be times that not that you want to give up, but you feel like giving up because you feel like you're hitting a brick wall. You're doing everything that you possibly can to help your child, and you're not getting anywhere. I've been there. I've cried about it. I've lost my temper about it. I have cried for my child and the help that he wasn't getting. But fight for your child. You will get there eventually. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. And I will talk to you guys for my next update. He starts on Monday with, hopefully they were able to get the 8 in time. So I will talk to you guys for my next update. Bye.